You know, the reason why we say we love the game is not just because of what we see in the field. It's because of whatever happens before the game, whatever happens after the game, the transfer, especially the transfer, the pundits, people just talking, the coaches, the players. Like I really like everything. Everything about football is just, you know, and especially the coaches. And sometimes, you know, they're honest. Like Pep. Like whenever I see Pep talk, I know he's honestly talking whatever he feels. Like he sees truth. Like he knows if he was in Burnley, if he was in Aston Villa, he wouldn't be getting those 3, 4 Champions League. He knows, like he's good, but there's something that happened for him to be getting all this transfer. Like he had better players, he had better squads, he had a lot of money, he had better training, and all these things. Then there are other coaches. You know, I love them, how they speak, but I know, like for instance, Anslot, like you listen to him and you just think that this guy was a prick in high school, like he was a bully. Like, you know that if you are meeting him in person, you wouldn't like the person. Like, okay, it's interesting the way he does his thing, but I think he was in real life he looks like a prick. Then there's Anslot, who not Anslot, Klopp, who reminds me of my previous life. Like somebody who is always like, I'm a good person. The world is just happening on me. And but down inside is also a prick. Like if he doesn't get whatever he wants, you'll see his real sense. And all those things usually still make footballs good. And then there are pundits and everything. But then you like banter, you like people talking. But what I dislike is when some people just, they are full on haters. Like they just wake up every day when they wake up early in the mornings. Like, where, why is a Chelsea fan happy today? Like, I just want to go out there and ruin their day. Like, they're just chilling. We have finished the first part or the second part of Premier League. Not, people are going to the international break. People are happy. People want to see how their countries plays. People are forgetting everything about the Premier League for a week. But somebody just wakes up and is like, no, no, not today, not today. I don't want to watch England. I don't want to watch France. I don't want to watch Nigeria. I don't want to watch USA. I don't want to watch Australia. What I want to do today is ruin a Chelsea fans' day. And I had gone on an holiday, on an early holiday for the rest of the international break. But then you say something, and I feel like I have to come here back and start talking about it. This is not fair. And I'm talking about all these pundits because yesterday in what was it? I'm even forgetting. Some people were still claiming, especially after we beat Liverpool, after we flogged Liverpool around, after we let Estevao dunked on their ass at the demon hour. We are forgetting that we just needed to you know, chill down and then come to take our throne from Arsenal from next week. But then some people just sat down. They felt that that win was probably undeserved, or even if it was deserved, they had to go back and look for something to come knock down on people from Chelsea. Are really from Chelsea? We are not from Chelsea. I mean, people who support Chelsea. Like some people were saying, Chelsea in the transfer market. I don't know why you are. It's October for fuck's sake. Why are people still talking about the transfer market? We should wait until December and January. But people are just saying. Some guy, Pandit, was saying the way Chelsea signed, the way them bringing Garnacho, them bringing Gittens, Like those two guys were replacing Nicholas Jackson and Madueke, which again I have to correct. Like, all those two guys are left wingers. Like Garnacho is a left winger, Gittens is a left winger, Jackson was a striker, Madueke was a right winger. The person who replaced Madueke was Estevao, and it wasn't a like for like replacement. Not like for like replacement. It was like we are just beefing up the squad. And then when people are beefing up the squad, it's usually like relationship. When you start seeing people sending your girl gifts and things that you can't afford, you move out of the relationship. That's what happens to Madueke. He saw Estevao coming in. He had some few, not even training session. Like he saw him, he played against him. He saw how he was doing, and he thought, we are in the same competition, and this guy is getting man of the match every other game, every other game, every other game. There's no chance. There's no chance I'm going to bench this guy. Let me go and try to be a sub for Saka. And so it happened. It has happened that sometimes how Arsenal fans have been praising him, even at some point, the same pundit was saying that, Chelsea did not use Madueke correctly. Like, they were ruining him. Like, he has gone to Arsenal and he's passing people, he's dribbling people. But that's what we saw. That's what we saw when he came from PSV. That's what we saw when he came from PSV doing the first game, the second game, three game, a hat trick. And then all of a sudden we started realizing, this is how this guy plays. Like he dribbles, he waits on defenders to make a move to move the other side. But when you look at the grand scheme of the thing, like every game after every game after every game, you realize the output for these guys is not what you should expect for a dependable winger. Like if you are going to depend on a right winger, you have to expect at least chances created. You have to expect corners created. Of course, corners are chances, but then you have to expect assists, like a certain amount of assists, 5, 6, 7, 8 assists, because you're on the wing. You can score. You can do crosses. You can do 45s. You can pass your man and create a chance. You have to have assists. You have to have goals, because as a winger, every other winger is expected in Premier League. If you are playing for a big team, people have already set the standard. Like we have people like Salah, they already set the standard. Saka has already set the standard, and there's a lot and a lot and a lot of people who have set the standard from earlier on, from back then, from 2000, from the Henrys, from the Robins, from the Riberies, from we know what we expect from us a winger. So you can't just be coming here dribbling people and you expect people to praise you. They'll praise you at first the way Arsenal did, but then they realize that at some point, at certain games, when the striker is not on his game, you need the winger to score. You need the right winger, left winger to score or create a chance or give an assist. If it doesn't do that, then that all dribbling, as doing whatever, passing people, passing back, doesn't make sense. That's what we realized initially. That's why we sold him. That's why we bought Estevao. That's why we have been buying all these wingers. And it's the reason why Madueke ran, because he knew he will not be getting any chance. Because even as Maresca was trying to change his formation, he would be like, he will not be fighting Estevao only. He would be having Neto, he'll be having Palma, and then he'll be having Estevao. So he'll be probably our fourth choice winger, right winger. That wasn't from Jackson again. He's doing the same thing, like passing people, like trying to work hard, like pressing. But then that doesn't cut it when a team needs scores, when a team needs goals, when a team needs people to make assists, to create chances, and especially as a striker. Sometimes all that I'm pressing, I'm just rushing the goalkeeper, I'm just doing that. It's not going to save you. And that's why when we bought Delap, when we bought Joe Pedro, again, Jackson, out on his volition, he thought, if Delap is going to play there, if Pedro is going to play there, there's a chance I'm going to be a third choice at best. Third choice at best. So he ran. So whatever these people are spewing that we sold Madueke, we sold Jackson to buy in Gittens and bring in Garnacho, that's not right. Madueke ran, Jackson ran. Whether they were here or not, we will still have gone for left wingers and the possible people that we could bring. And even as some Chelsea fans who are complaining about Gittens, I already knew that for some instance, especially after the people that we signed at first, when Boyle bought the club, like we were going for big names, the Sterling, the Lukaku, the like everybody, every name that was out there that was big, experienced, done that, expected to do this the same way, like Lukaku, Sterling, and who we bought all those, and then we realized that first it's not sustainable because when you bring a person costing all these millions, getting all this salary, and then you expect him to keep on playing for these games, and then he flops. First, the biggest problem is that you're not going to send him off. Like right now, we still have Sterling. Like it was so hard to send a lot of these guys off that the only place they could go was in Saudi Arabia. So if you're not getting somebody who is willing to go Saudi Arabia, like if you look, all those, the Napoli guy, what's his name? Then plus the Senegalese keeper, all those, if they were not willing to go to Saudi Arabia, it's so good that they are Muslims, they were from Senegal, so it was easy for them to go to Saudi Arabia. We will still probably be having them right now. If Ronaldo would not have convinced Joe Pedro to go there, we will still be having him now. It's the same way we are having all these other guys, and it's why the management decided that we are not going to just keep signing all these big names for the sake of it. The likes of Sancho, imagine if we are selling Sancho, who right now is not even playing for Aston Villa, like he has been in Aston Villa for 8-10 games. He has only played 3 games, and 3 games it was like coming in as a sub, then EFL for 60 minutes, then the other 8 minutes, 13 minutes. He hasn't even crossed the 90-minute mark. A person who was supposed to be, who a lot of people are saying that we should have signed him to help the team win the Premier League, is now in Aston Villa and is not getting 90 minutes in 8 games since the start of the season. You see, the correlation shows that sometimes the people who are managing these players, the people who know these things, usually just know this is not the way to go. This is not the guy to depend on. This is not the way to go. And for them to purchase Gittens, for them to get Garnacho, I understand them. I think that still we still have two dependable wingers in Estevao and Neto, who can play both left wing and right wing. But again, because all these guys are traditional or naturally right wing, we needed left wingers. And the left wingers getting Gittens at 21-year-old, or is it 20, is not dependable. It's like getting Modric and then trying to, go through him all this side. Like he's able to accept to be a sporadic player. That's the thing that these people sometimes don't understand. That sometimes you need people who are willing to stay at the bench, learn as they progress slowly and slowly and slowly and slowly. You don't need to get a person who'll behave like Salah, play 3 games and then thinks, you know what, I'm better than this thing, which sometimes is hard for the club because this guy has good pack. Like he can his pack is amazing. Like he can be a world beater, but it's not going to happen right now. It probably is going to happen in 3 years, 4 years. Now, as you wait for those 3 years to come, you just can't be putting him on danger, trying to, pitting him against fans. You need to usher him in slowly by slowly. And the right way to usher him in slowly by slowly is to have another person who is at least better to again play. But then this guy also knows that if he messes, he can go on the bench. And I think that's what the management thought with Garnacho and Gittens. Like, if any of them is not performing, I don't think they will be like, I'm wasting here my time. I need to go and start having because my future is finished. I'm too old to be sitting on the bench. I think Garnacho and this are at the same age. So one could accept to be benched by the other, and the other could accept to learn from the other, and even both of them could accept to be benched. How am I talking too quick? That's the thing. That's what I'm explaining. Like, we were not replacing uh, uh, uh Nicholas Jackson and Madueke with Gittens and Garnacho. That is first. But then, us getting Gittens and Garnacho, it wasn't like we are purchasing these people to come right now and become stars. We are purchasing people for for us to usher in, slowly by slowly, like build their confidence, like tell them this is what they should do, because we know they can be better than whatever is in Premier League. Who are the top Premier League wingers right now? Probably Saka only. Doku. Doku is even getting bench. Savinho. Who's the other? Martinelli. There's no any person to see in Premier League because Salah is gone. But we are raising two Salahs at the moment. So tell these bandits to chill out. We are in control of the situation. Goals are coming from the wingers. Anyway, nice day. It's so good to make this thing again. Subscribe.